Hello my lovelies and welcome to District 103 Channel 3. We are here behind the scenes at the Toastmasters International Convention in Chicago, Illinois, and the site for the World Champion Public Speaking Contest. Tonight we are speaking with a prior world champion. We are speaking with Lance Miller, who was the champion in 2005, and he is going to give us a little peek behind the scenes, and hopefully he'll give us some of the secrets about becoming the top, reaching absolute excellence in public speaking. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Lance, tell me a little bit about your journey and how you came to Toastmasters.
How I came, you know, it's funny. I've always enjoyed speaking. I wasn't always great at it. I didn't know if I was giving a talk and it wasn't going well, I didn't know how to make it go correct. If it was going good, I didn't know how to keep it going good. But I always had a passion for actually communicating, bringing people together, sort of leading, and I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities, quite honestly. And I had a friend of mine invite me to a Toastmasters club. I'd never heard of Toastmasters. I thought it was the only Toastmasters club in the world. And I went, and it looked like a fun thing to do, and quite honestly, one of the reasons I joined is I had an audience to listen to me, and then as I got into the club, I started to realize that I had a lot of growth and a lot to learn, but in the beginning, I thought, oh great, this looks like fun, I can actually speak every couple of weeks, and I'm great, and then I discovered I wasn't.
And isn't that the truth? Isn't humility one of the first things we learn in Toastmasters, and how does that serve us?
Well, you know, humility is so humbling, as they say, but when you have humility, it's actually you're comfortable in your own skin. And when people have an ego, they're arrogant, they have a tendency to talk down to their audiences or talk down to people generally in life, I find it's actually, they're surviving by belittling other people. And true, people who have really wrestled with life and understand it are humble because they realize that they don't know everything and that they're lucky every day, and they put their best efforts into it, and they're very honest with themselves, and that brings about a great deal of humility.
And I noticed in your winning speech you had a tremendous self-revelation and vulnerability. Is that one of the secrets to utterly engaging, captivating your audience?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily qualify these things as secrets, you know, like there's some magic formula. I think I can speak for myself. The journey for me was really a journey of self-discovery into what my messages were in the world, what the beliefs I had, what was truly important to me. It wasn't so much about speaking and standing up without stage fright. It was about connecting with myself that I could give something of value to the audience. And that was quite a journey. And there were a lot of revelations and points of self-realization, but it helped me to find me. And through the competitions, I, to a large degree, found me, which was worth the journey.
Absolutely. Did you have a mentor?
I didn't have a specific mentor. I had a lot of mentors. I had a great club. I had people helping me all the time. There wasn't like one person that was just sitting there, you know, moving me along. There were a number of people for different things that I needed. And here was the other thing, and it wasn't like something that I'm living my life and I'm working to be the world champion of public speaking. No, every year the contest came around, I was so busy doing other things, I was like, okay, I got to come up with a speech contest at the club. Let me come up with something. It was I compared it a little bit like running a 10K, because I lost this contest for 13 years. It's not like I just came out and won it in 1 year. I lost at the club level for 9. It took me 9 years to get out of my club. Then I went to the district 4 times. I went to the regions back then 3 times before I made it to the finals. And it was a little bit like running a 10K and saying, can I just better my time? Can I do a little better? Can I be stronger this year than I was last year? And that's really the benefit that I see with the contests in Toastmasters. And it's disappointing to me. I don't think some of the senior leadership in Toastmasters understands the benefit of the contest, because they build leadership because you have to put a leadership team together to put on the contest. And it brings people out of their clubs into the district, into the areas, the divisions, where they get to know each other, and they compete in front of an audience with speakers they're not comfortable with, so it develops the speaking skills. The contest track in Toastmasters does everything to make Toastmasters great. And I'm very disappointed to see the rulings come out that they've cut the contest in half, and we can only have them in the spring, and I think that's very detrimental to the organization.
But the contest you won, Lance, changed your life.
It changed my life completely.
How did it change your life?
Well, as I said, it was a discovery of myself. And it was like I had one of the sort of icons and mentors in my club was a lady named Roberta Prairie. And Roberta's now a past international director of Toastmasters, but she'd been in Toastmasters quite a long time, had founded my club. And it was about 2 months into Toastmasters, I asked her what was the International Speech Contest, and she said, that's like you had 5 to 7 minutes to speak to the world. And that question scared me to death, because I had no idea what I would say if I had 5 to 7 minutes to speak to the world. And that journey took me through what I really believe would be a message that could make a difference to a lot of people if they got it.
And how would you tell our audience, Lance, to trust their own experience? Not just the contestants out there, but for the Toastmaster members who are joining clubs, who have come from difficult backgrounds. How do they trust that their experience is worthy of speaking about, working through, helping to deliver a message to others?
That was something that I struggled with, because I kept thinking I had to come up with some big thing that was huge, some huge thing. There were no bad things that had happened to me. I wasn't sure what to do. I wasn't wrongly incarcerated for murder for 20 years, and now I could talk about what it's like to have an injustice railed against you. And I had a realization where I really looked at the fact that most of us struggle with the same things. Most of us are trying to connect the dots in life. Most of us haven't had bad things happen to us. Most of us struggle with daily relationships and feeling fulfilled with work and trying to find our purpose in life. And that's a big audience. And the thing I would tell people is whatever they are struggling with, know there are millions of other people struggling with that exact same issue. And if you can give them a little seed of wisdom that helps them, which helped you with that struggle, you can pass that on and share that with them. It will help them with their struggle, and that will resonate with them. It doesn't have to be some monumental story.
That's brilliant. That's beautiful. Is there a future, Lance, for Toastmasters in the world of TED and all the information that we can access?
Well, I think there's a future in the world for Toastmasters, because we don't have a communication training program for mankind, right? We grow up and we mimic our parents and we mimic our environment, and then we have a tendency to perpetuate what we learned. And Toastmasters gives us a place where it's a safe place to communicate, and we can find our own voice, and we can find our own skills to communicate, and we can learn to listen, and we can give people positive feedback without criticizing them. We learn to do those things, and those are life skills that we need. And as long as there are people on earth, there's going to be room for Toastmasters.
And we can take that big international organization that it is, and it really comes down to those 20 or 30 people in a room.
It does. Toastmasters lives and dies at the club level.
Yes.
That's where it is. And it's a safe place to come in, a safe place to make your mistakes. You know, you can screw up all you want in Toastmasters, and they'll still love you and ask you back next week. The same thing doesn't happen at work.
Beautiful. We are going to leave it there, Lance. That was beautiful insight. Thanks so much for sharing
You're very welcome.
with me, for sharing with our audience. Thank you, viewers, for watching, and we will see you next time on D103 Channel 3.